Hi, everybody. Before I start, I would like to say two words. First of all, it's a big thanks to organizers. It was a very, very nice conference. And second, I would say Kyiv is one of the most beautiful cities in this region. So today I will talk about some research which I made in order to understand what's good or valuable token and what's not. But before I will make some introductions of me. I am a serial blockchain entrepreneur. This is my second company, which I co-founded, which is related with a blockchain. And this is a German-based or Frankfurt-based token accelerator called Iconic Lab. What we do, we just going all over the world, search the best startups who want to issue tokens. We provide funding them. We help them with token model, smart contracts and legal framework, and after that we just help them with pre-sales. And I have a big pleasure that one of our startups, which is from the first our batch, is presenting here in downstairs. So it's called Vreo. Let's go maybe and check them on the stand. This is one identity regarding blockchain. Second identity, I'm a researcher, so I made some research on blockchain use cases, but I'm as well as PhD candidate in sociology. And then I just take my research skills in order to understand one particular set of questions. So wherever I go all over the world, there's startups which answer me, like ask me different questions. For example, whether utility type of token is worth of security type of token, whether there are different kind of industries which tokens are worth or not. And in order to provide answers, what I did,
No, just point here.
Okay. So, okay, what I did, I took, I go to CoinMarketCap, section tokens, list two most valuable tokens by market cap, and then I made content analysis. This means that I download any of that tokens white paper and make analysis on different kind of questions. And then I just make a list of the table, and then I code it and just see whether there's patterns, like there's industries which are tokens, utility tokens, and etc. And then I count it and make research, and I present the results. Before I start with the results presenting you, I would say it's three things, very important one. First of all, so this is like, it's all like, it's in general things. So there could be different cases which is not like follows that logic. So it doesn't mean sense that if, for example, if you have very good project in one industry, that it's not always follows that pattern, but it's much better. It gives you like overview, okay, picture. So still. Micro cases or individual cases is case by case. Second, what I want to say, I just took different kind of numbers as well, and I just analyzed the numbers. But as you know, that the market is very volatile, so don't look so much strictly on the numbers, but just look behind the patterns. And the third thing, I only analyze white papers. So we know that there are like projects with worse white papers, with better white papers. There are projects which rewrite white papers and etc. So the first question what I ask is what industries tokens are most valuable, and how I did it. So I go through all white papers and start understanding in the white paper, this particular white paper or technology which is built is used in what industry. Yes. And then there is like white papers or tokens which are used in generic. It could be like in one industry like finance. It could be the same thing. It could be in entertainment, media, etc. For example, Ethereum. There is, as you know, there's a lot of proof of the concepts by different industries, and they use this pattern. So this is like generic technology, for example. But there is different kinds of tokens which are like only industry like specific. For example, entertainment and media, or just if you're building some crypto exchange, then it's mostly only applies this technology could be applied for crypto industry or crypto finance. So when, the first thing, just then I counted, and in order to understand what is distribution of market cap for these 200 top tokens for these 4 industries. So it's mostly like generic was number 1. So as you see that 30% of all tokens, all market caps goes in tokens, which builds technology which is applied almost to any industry. It's like more like foundational technology. Second thing, like 26% of all this market cap gets attention or gets grasp in crypto finance. And third is 10% is like those blockchain applications which cover some kind of financing aspects, for example, invoice financing, tokenization of loans, and etc. And all others, all other industries are second 10%. So what we see clearly here, that there's all attention now from investor side and from market cap absorbs mostly like generic technologies and applications for crypto finance. What does it mean for startups? Mostly when you go on applications, they are mostly like very industry specific. So it means if you, for example, are building some kind of solution for media or advertising, you need to understand that if there will be some kind of market like competition on the same time, will be ICO is very like they will trying to build new blockchain or new crypto exchange or new some kind of token, you will be in less favorable position. So because the more like attraction and attention goes to like these 2 main segments. Second, I look on how much on each of these industries, like what's the average market cap for 1 token in this particular 4 segments. And what we can find out is that there are 2 like hierarchies, like several. Following the most valuable are generic technologies and crypto finance tokens. On average, one of token is around 240 million worth for market cap, and it's about 3 times less worth. 3 times less worth is like finance and all other market blockchain application for other industries. So it's clear, so that you have less chance if you build to the market some kind of blockchain application for a particular industry, rather than you build up generic tech or you find some kind of solution for crypto community. So next question, what technologies are most valuable, or which like technologies like are invested the most? And you see this several things. So like here I look on white paper, what companies, what particularly the company is building on. Whether it's building on blockchain, database, does it building on Oracle, the infrastructure for Oracle, smart contracts, marketplace platforms, networks, and etc. What we here see is that the trend is following the pattern. That here the most valuables are basic technologies. It's like blockchain database, Oracleizers, some smart contract infrastructure, and some tokens, like tokens which are linked to some kind of stable currencies, for example, and they are more rare. So a lot of tokens are powered by marketplaces or platforms or networks, these kind of technologies, but they are at least several times less valuable. So here we see the most valuable tokens are coming from blockchain, for blockchain databases. Second are tokens, and then one which is Oracleizer. What does it mean? That it means that we need to look, now it's time when we just building and all money goes to building like basic infrastructure and less infrastructure of which is like using different kind of second layers like applications, platforms, and networks. What type of tokens are most available? Does this mean here like whether it's like what's distribution between utility type of tokens, app payment tokens, or security type of tokens? What's difference here? It's when your utility type of token is some kind of token from which I can, from service provider, I get one utility in exchange of token. App payment tokens are tokens when several parties using can transact value within app or platform. And security type of token is token where you give some kind of profit sharing, dividends, voting rights, and etc. So what's very interesting here is that from 200 tokens, only 5% tokens are security type tokens. And most of like 59% of tokens are utility type tokens. So what we see at that point, when we talk about some kind of tokenization, we talk about utility type of tokens. And most probably we speak about technological services which are tokenized. So what about market value, or how worth are like each of the type of token? Then we see the most valuable are utility type of token. The second is app payment token, and less valuable is security type token. So it means that all these discussions, that security type of tokens are game changers and more valuable, at least at that moment, doesn't hold true. So, and after that, I just make some kind of typology of different kind of industries and different kind of tokens. So whether there are some kind of types of tokens which are in the market, and I would say the most valuable token are the first, which are using for generic technologies, like technologies like blockchain, smart contract infrastructure oracleizers, which issue some utility type of token, which gives some value, simple value like storage value, verification, or computation power. These are most valuable tokens in the market right now. So it means that second is crypto industry tokens like exchanges. They usually there are some types that they issuing utility type of tokens. So it means by this token I can acquire some kind of services on that platform. For example, listing, transactions, and etc. I'm paying by this service by that token. The third type is crypto token, which is when you use app payment, so that I can use for different kind of payment means. The next one is for protocols and networks. Usually both for finance and other industry. And it's utility type of token, which give you holder like premium services, not all services, but some specific services, access to specific services, or whether it gives discounts, so that, for example, I can pay for one service whether in fiat money, or I can buy by discount, but by the token issued, and by this token I can give some kind of discounts, and as well some kind of membership things. The last one is as well, it's like usually used for different industries, applications. It's like usually work for marketplace and platforms. It's app payments, and it's usually used like so that I can within that platform I can exchange value from different parties. Where tokens are issued, you see there are three big leader countries. One is the United States, second is Singapore, and third is Switzerland. And all others like Gibraltar is which we now talk a lot, at least it's not in that list. Estonia is only in the first, and Russia as well. So that it means that there is simply this means some kind of geographical pattern. So it's if we want more work closer to European market, most probably Switzerland is good. Historically was good option. More Asia, Singapore, and United States for the United States. But it's a little bit changing, and what is becoming very important is that different geographies are differently regulated. And I put the picture which I took on 1 month ago, which was from presentation, which was taught by German regulator BaFin. And what it actually is saying, So there is, even though it's different geographies, it's simply it becomes more and more complicated. Because, for example, some Asian countries like China and South Korea, ICOs are banned. It's very complex thing to do ICO in the United States and very expensively in Germany in itself. So it means that this all becomes more and more complicated. In that regards, more and more important, becoming when you choose your in which country you choose to open your special purpose vehicle which issuing the token. And then I look on what's token distribution from how much it goes to the teams, and how much to the bounty. And so it looks like there is huge variety between different kind of projects. So for example, the smallest which goes to public tokens sells was 15% and the biggest was 87%. But in average, from these 200 tokens, average publicly tokens, 50% of all tokens was went to public token sale. From the team tokens as well, there is a huge variety between 5 to 50%, but on average, 60% of all tokens was granted to the team, and around 6%, 4% goes to bounty campaigns. So there is some kind of mechanisms which are built on, which some kind of increase or decrease value of token as well. So it's, if you see a utility type of token is just, you can see it's like demand and supply of particular some kind of utility, and then there is different mechanisms. Like there are some tokens which are burned when a utility token when I use. It could be fully burned or partly burned. Then there is buyback options for secure type of tokens. And these both things, of course, restrict decrease supply of tokens in the market, and therefore it increases value of tokens. Second, then there is trade restrictions. So, for example, a lot of teams are not allowed to sell their tokens starting from 6 months, or it could be 3-4 years. And then, of course, there is different kind of mechanisms how new tokens are issued. And this new tokens issuance is very important because it increases, again, supply side of token. Therefore, if you issue more and more tokens, then it could increase supply, and it could decrease a little bit value of token. So what is what I think is the future of tokenization? I think it's right what previous presenters told, that it's everything ICOs and tokenization is about investing in emerging technologies. And particularly stressing word emerging technologies. And blockchain is only one type of technology. And through different kind of technological cycles, what we see, that there are as well very important technologies which are like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and etc. And we see that next big waves will be tokenization of those technologies. And particularly, I would say that there are emerging new type of token class, which is artificial intelligence token, which is token which uses, which represents, gives some kind of utility of technology, which uses artificial intelligence. So, for example, in this white paper analysis, we find in 21% of white papers, you will find references to artificial intelligence technology. So by speaking with a lot of people and experts, so I find at least 3 very important, interesting things where would be interesting to invest and what kind of tokens to tokenize regarding artificial intelligence. First thing is AI hardware. So as you know that there is Bitcoin and crypto mining, but there is several things which goes with artificial intelligence. So you need some kind of, you need hardware to do like to train model. Second is model and data marketplaces, so that people can get the models and apply them, as well as some kind of AI tokenization platforms, so which gives strictly that, that I know that if I'm buying the tokens, that only through this token I can access service. Shortly, I'm from Iconic Lab. It's a global IC accelerator program. What we offer for startups, we source and fund top startups, so we choose 3% of only startups which are in our program. So then we invest some money or fund some startups, accelerate. It means that we co-create token model, legal framework, and smart contract, and then we went to our investor network. So, and we are doing our own ICO as well, and on March 31, so it will be, we will launch public pre-sales. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So you will be in Kiev during this ICO start, yeah? Token sales start.